The religion is at the heart of many debates, and it is currently the target of numerous attacks. Ideological attacks, media attacks, spiritual assaults, economic pressures, and even military aggressions. These offensives, ceaselessly launched by major factions across the world, aim to increasingly destroy religion by uprooting it from communities, tarnishing its reputation, and restricting the rights of its followers. Being religious is challenging today, and it will likely become even more so tomorrow. In Europe and North America, major media outlets, backed by governments, persistently strive to tarnish the image of religion. Numerous speakers express themselves toward this goal, describing through their statements and propaganda a religion of deceit, a menacing faith that should be eradicated, a religion far removed from the reality of true religion. Our societies absorb these daily broadcasts, assimilating their content. However, those who oppress religion enjoy the freedom to do so. Their popularity, audience, and influence on our fellow citizens reveal a significant gap in our society. Understanding the true essence of religion eludes us, especially in these chaotic times where those promoting disorder sow seeds of confusion and corruption, making it challenging to discern the truth. Yet, it is precisely because we are facing such turmoil that we need today more than ever to understand what religion truly is. Therefore, in this video, we will take the time to define what religion is, to comprehend the surrounding stakes, and to distinguish truth from falsehood when encountering anti-religious opinions or propaganda. Everyone knows the dictionary definition. Religion is the set of beliefs that define the relationship between humans and God, encompassing the recognized prescriptions originating from God. While this definition is accurate, it does not aid us in discerning the counterfeit from the real in our dilemma. The religion is a fact of God. It is the manifestation of His guidance, His mercy, His assistance. Religion exclusively originates from God. He reveals it Himself in its perfect and complete form. His revelation is expressed through sacred texts written by His divine pen and entrusted to accomplished messengers whose character He perfected. These messengers are the infallible guides through whom God transmits the religion. They are impeccable models of His teachings and examples to be followed by the religious. But no creature can create a religion. Otherwise, it's a deceit or a philosophy. However, that isn't a religion, as true religion exclusively originates from God. And for each individual, God possesses the highest degree of the most beautiful and noble attributes, beyond what humans can perceive. Understanding these 2 points alone is enough to grasp that religion is the product of a knowledge that surpasses us. It's the result of a goodness too immense for us to grasp, and love far too intense for our hearts to contain. Because religion solely comes from God, who is unchanging in the perfection of His attributes. And God in His wisdom has made religion an art of living, a code of conduct, a law that encompasses every aspect of our lives and prescribes for us. Not because He needs our obedience, but out of love for us, because it's only through meticulous adherence to His prescriptions that humans can flourish in stability and happiness, until they live a true paradise on this earth. To understand this mechanism, let's go back with time. God created the universe. He created the human being, and He shaped the original man, our father Adam, in a state of sanctity, in a state of purity, in the noblest stature a human could attain, and God placed him in an earthly paradise. Let's try to imagine the delights our father Adam might have experienced, the happiness he might have lived, not solely due to his environment, but thanks to the proximity he had with God, to the honor with which God graced him by allowing him to enter His presence. Well, in its originality, that's how humans are made. But what could have changed between the noblest stature and the paradise our father Adam knew, and the most degraded states, the severe troubles we experience today? Well, there's the answer. God created everything for a reason. Each creature carries a purpose, a mission divinely assigned to it. This function that the creature bears is its sole and unique reason for existence, that which God, its creator, has given it. And God, through His names, has woven in the laws of the universe a rule of causality, whereby the flourishing, stability, happiness, purity, and sanctity of a creature are intimately linked to the fulfillment of its function and the implementation of the means God has provided for it to achieve it. In other words, the more a creature works towards its purpose, the more it will live in fulfillment, happiness, stability, and the nobler and higher its state will be. Conversely, the farther a creature moves away from its purpose, the more its condition deteriorates, leading to unhappiness, troubles, and affliction. And the sole and unique purpose of the sons of Adam is the worship of God. God created the worlds for man, and He created man for himself. It is through the way man worships God or not, the deeds he dedicates to his worship or not, that by God's decree his happiness or misery, his stability or fragility, his flourishing or decadence ensue. Now let's take a simple example and imagine a plant. The function of the plant is to bear fruit to feed humans, sustain wildlife, and reproduce. Producing fruits is the plant's fulfillment. It's why it exists. In His wisdom, God decreed that for our plant to germinate, establish, grow, blossom, and finally bear fruit, it requires 4 things: sunlight, water's nutrients, minerals from the soil, and pollen brought by bees. All plants that have access to these 4 resources assimilate them to produce fruits. But let's imagine our plant is special in that it could mimic human whims. Suddenly it says, "No, I don't want to bear fruit. I don't want water. I only want cow's milk." Then our plant rejects all the water that God brings to it. The result is that our plant will begin by ceasing to grow. It will fall ill and eventually die without bearing fruit, without fulfilling its purpose, without achieving its species fulfillment. Of course, such a plant doesn't exist because there isn't a single plant in the world that refuses to fulfill the task given to it by God. But the question that arises from this is, if our plant needed water, sunlight, minerals, and pollen to bear fruit, what does man need for his worship? What does he need to fulfill himself? How can he fulfill his purpose? How can he attain stability? How can he achieve complete happiness? Well, that's what religion is. Religion is the divine manual for human beings, teaching us in every situation, in every second, how to attain stability, happiness, good health, how to be a true man or woman, and how to experience the paradise that God has placed within us. The religion exists solely for human fulfillment and the common good. It addresses all questions on every subject because God, in His kindness, has not overlooked anything. It is free and open to all. It is the simplest and the best in every recommendation and law it offers, as it originates entirely from God, the Lord of mercy and kindness. The practices of religion aren't symbolic rituals. They are practices recommended by the sublime science of God, which have a direct impact on the individual and the entire world. All divine prescriptions that construct religion guide humans to purify their character, enabling them to establish themselves in the noblest and most virtuous stations, in the purity of their original nature and Adamic stature. These prescriptions breathe life into the worship of the religious, to their purpose, and evoke humility, respect, and reverence towards God and the practitioner. These qualities form the fundamental basis upon which creatures build their connection with their Lord. These guidelines strengthen the bond between believers and their Creator. As religious individuals apply them, they feel an immense joy from the divine presence. Each guideline they follow nurtures their inner self, making them happier until they embody a lifestyle on earth that mirrors paradise dwellers. If it's not like that, then it's not a religion from God. If it's not to purify humans and anchor them in stability, then it's not a prescription from God. If it's not to affirm and strengthen the faith and the relationship between the religious and their Lord, then it's not a prescription from God. If it's not for the happiness and fulfillment of humans, for their joy and peace, then it's not a prescription from God. If it's not for the balance of the worlds, then it's not a prescription from God. God has bestowed this religion because in His absolute knowledge, He knows that humanity would never be able to find, on its own, the keys to its success and salvation. Even if humanity acknowledges the existence of God, it would never by itself find the paths to worship. And the best evidence of this is the ineffective effort put forth by non-religious individuals in their desperate search for happiness and stability across all domains of life, despite the universities teeming with psychologists, the teachings of philosophers, and the countless doctors available. The agnostic world struggles to stabilize. Instead, they continuously fall into deeper darkness and increasingly worrisome distress. Religion is the science of all sciences, the understanding of human beings, and the guidance for humanity, originating directly from God, who knows mankind and the universe better than anyone else. The world must understand that the further it drifts from religion, the more it's destined for downfall. So, my brother, my sister, if we insisting so much in defining religion, it's because within it the answers to all questions and the solutions to all problems. And even if the world deny it, attempts to silence or destroy it, we can only invite you to return to it, for true happiness and peace cannot be found elsewhere. We genuinely wish for the very best for you.